So in here, we have activated charcoal. In here, we have a rabbit. Nothing. It's empty. In here we have water. What we're going to do is make an activated charcoal patch or gauze. So these are 2 gauze pads. These don't have to be sterile, but that's what they are right now. Sterile just means that they're wrapped individually. So thin gauze. Next one.
Did you have magic?
I see some juggling, yeah.
So the place that people make the biggest mistake, first, if you're going to make activated charcoal paste, have something with with sides to it, because when you pour stuff, it comes up easily. So just something with a little deeper of a bowl. And so this is the amount Callie put in here, but I'm only going to use a little. So I'm just going to put the amount that's going to fit onto this. I'm going to want it about 2 millimeters, or like that much thick. So 2 to 3 millimeters. So I'm going to put the powder in here. First I'm going to blow it on this lens. So I have this much powder in here. And what I want to do is add enough water to make it into a mud pie. Do you have mud pies in England?
Yes.
Okay, great. So most of the time, the biggest mistake is that people add too much water. And so you just add a small amount and then just start to mix it in. So that was just a teaspoon, right? This is probably a little more than 5 milliliters. And it's already pretty close to what the amount I need. So really the biggest mistake is that people put a bunch of water and it's way too thin. So favor it towards the dry side, and I'm just going to stir it. I'm going to stir it up some more. I only need a little bit more here. And then put a little more water. And that. So I'm not sure if you saw how much I put in there, but maybe another teaspoon. Stir it up until we get mud pie. A little water. After a few times doing it at the gathering, then you basically, or just doing it anywhere where I do it a few times, and you just get it pretty easy. I usually make everything reasonably sterile. Just like the spoon is going to be clean, probably cleaned in some kind of iodine or hydrogen peroxide mix. The guy who we work with at the gathering, his favorite mix is half hydrogen peroxide and half betadine. He says that's what they use at the ER, the emergency room where he works. So I'm just not going to argue that, I guess. So this is about right. Right there. So basically then next, just put it on here and you spread it out. It's a little bit dry. A little bit more water, a little bit more of this. A little vanilla flavoring. The chin hairs of Ben and Jerry. So, really, again, the biggest mistake is almost always putting too much water in. So I'm just being cautious. So this is the consistency right here. Not sure how to show that really. You can spray with your fingers, but this is just dirty. I don't want to get too much of this on me. And it's a little bit dry and a little bit thick. Actually, it's perfect. And I say that because it spreads really well. You don't want it too wet because then it doesn't pull stuff up too. It has to be the right amount of moisture to wick, but too wet and it holds water, and then when you put it on the person, they get waterlogged, which is not helpful for injuries. So you really want it you just want it this side of wet. And so the reason I switched my mind is not so much to say I did it correct, blood is to make enough mistakes. Is to because I can feel it doing the density. So this is how it usually looks, something like this. And it's about the right amount of moisture. I can feel water from on the underside, so it'll wick through. If it's dry, it won't wick. Wick means pulls up. And so then, if this is basically something like this, it could be a little bit thinner. I did this, got this amount off. This would also work. So it's a little bit thick there. So this might be a little bit better. This thickness right here. It's a pileated woodpecker. And now there's two ways to do this. You could put it directly on the wound, activated charcoal side down. But with open wounds, I don't like to do it because the powder is hard to get out of the wound, and it makes it harder to heal. So what you basically do is you just take another one of these, same size usually, and it has to be moist enough where it's going to come through, right, if it's too dry, because it won't wick well if it's too dry. And then you put one side down. It doesn't really matter what side, because not a lot comes through on this side. So I'm doing this, and my finger is pretty much not black. And then you just put that down, and then you tape, if the person had a staph infection there, and then you tape it on with, can you give me a vet wrap, please, Kelly? Do you know where there's any? Open one would be better. Then we're going to hold it in place with vet wrap.